Right then, last week we did a video looking at the number 6, an extremely important position that Manchester United, if they get right, would really help us push on, provided we sign 3 or 4 other players. Now, one of those other players that we need to sign, my opinion, is a centre-half. Since the evolution of Manchester United to being a front-facing team, a team that looks to press from the front, what happens is when you press from the front, you can't leave these monstrous, massive gaps. You can't have 20 metres to the midfield and then 30 metres to your defence. It doesn't work like that. You have to narrow those gaps, 10 to 15 metres or so in between your defence, your midfield and your attack. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Nice and tight. To do that, you have to have athletic, quick defenders. When you push your entire team into the opposition half, you're giving them 50 metres to your goal where there's no one occupying that space whatsoever. The problem with that is when teams pump one over the top and put you in there, you do leave your defence exposed. Now, a lot of the best teams in world football at the moment are doing this, and they're winning the ball up high, and the risk reward of winning the ball up high and leaving that a little bit more exposed at the back is something that they're happy with. Yes, there's a risk, but there's a greater reward to be done by doing this. It's a better way to defend, in their opinion. The other option is you can have a mid-block where you try and drop to around about the halfway line. You can still have a relatively high line, but you try and squeeze the middle of the pitch like that, and you look to try and prevent anyone getting in behind still, but you also make it difficult to play through. And then the full 180 of that is the low block. The low block, you're going to sit on the edge of your box. Your forwards are going to come and drop into your own half. And you're going to look to try and deny the opportunities for the opposition to play. And then counterly, what they're going to do is the opposition is going to come right up to the halfway line on the other side, and then you're going to look to try and exploit the space behind them. It's all of the yin and the yang and the dance that happens in football matches. But since the evolution, Harry Maguire has been massively exposed. He is not somebody that can play on the halfway line for Manchester United. Since we've transitioned from being a counter-attacking team, which suited him and Wan-Bissaka very well, there is a desperation for Manchester United to upgrade to somebody that can have that high line. I also think there's a desperation for someone that can maybe go vertical, maybe go long when needed, maybe has a bit of a range of passing. And I found the lad for you. He's called Nico Schlotterbeck, and he plays for Freiburg. He is 22 years of age. I am fortunate that one of my mates plays with him, and he's given me a bit of a glowing reference on him as well. So that's been useful to be able to get a little bit of inside info. It's someone that used to play for Manchester United. I'm sure you can figure out who that is. But obviously, he's been at Manchester United. He knows what the standard at Manchester United is. He knows how good this lad is. And he says, yeah, he's good enough. So he's left-sided centre-back. He's left-footed. He recently made the step up to the German national team where he looks extremely comfortable. And he's arguably been the best centre-back in the Bundesliga this season. Now, there's another centre-back in the Bundesliga that I really rate as well, and that is a Kanji that plays for Dortmund. I think he's an absolute beast as well. But I think the pair of them are probably the shoe-in for Team of the Year over in the Bundesliga. And what I find really fascinating about Schlotterbeck is a few of his attributes that I think really tie him well with Manchester United. He's left-footed. In fact, he's more than left foot. He's got an absolute wonderful left foot. He loves massive switches to the opposite flank, and he's got some serious accuracy when he's doing it as well. He's been probably the main figure, I would say, in a really magnificent Freiburg rearguard this season that's only conceded 26 goals in 24 matches. It is the best record in Germany alongside Bayern, and honestly, the budget they've got at Freiburg is laughable. Schlotterbeck's a modern centre-back in every sense of the word. He is confident. I mean, confident doesn't quite cut it. This guy thinks he's Pirlo when he gets onto the ball. He's got a sensational passing range. He's got the ability to step out from the back. Definitely has that quality as a third midfielder that comes in sometimes. He's in the 98th percentile for dribbles and shot-creating actions for centre-halves in Europe. He is a ball player. I've been watching him extensively as well, and when you're watching him, a couple of surprise clips come out. So I'm using WeScout to watch him. WeScout, you can have a look at their best and worst, all sorts of different actions. In fact, I'm just going to pull it up on the screen here because it's right here behind the monitor. Just me log in. You can look at their individual duels. You can look at their defensive actions. You can look at their positioning. You look at their headed duels, goals, passes, shots, interceptions, tackles, their covering depth when they lose the ball, their clearances, their long range passes, their assists, their best actions, the duels that they lose, their aggressiveness, their fouls. You can look at every aspect of it, and it's all brought up. If you just go automatic video report generator, it shows you a mix of everything good and bad. And one of the things that shocked me that I wasn't expecting to see was how many times he's in the final third. He's like an overlapping centre half. And other times he's steamed through the middle and laid it off for someone who's then had a shot. He's also getting to the byline. A centre half, listen to what I'm saying. A centre half that gets to the byline and he's cutting it back towards a penalty spot for someone to have a shot. Are you kidding me? So does he have the athleticism to get up and down? Yeah, he does, Steve. Actually, he does. He's 6'3". He's a monster. Seriously imposing stature. He's aggressive. It's everything that you want from a centre half. He's combative. Uses both of those things to his advantage. Is strong in the air. Very, very aggressive defender. Really good recovery speed. Very well rounded in that sense. And I think there's still a lot for him to learn. His composure's there, but I think there's still elements to his game that are going to take him from being a real good prospect to a potential world-class player. Elite centre-backs really don't happen as teenagers. It's a very rare thing. And also, just pure defenders is a rare thing in modern football as well, because of the demands that are placed on the positioning. That's why you're seeing so many older centre-halves. Thiago Silva's looking sensational at the moment. But Schlotterbeck's got a very high ceiling. I think he's got the raw attributes to become a really great centre-half if they're moulded in the right direction. As more and more teams adopt high-pressing systems, the requirements to be able to resist the pressure and to be able to recover with speed and the physicality to be able to get 1v1 with people and let them know you're there, the ability to cover when that press is broken down and a ball does manage to get through when you've got that halfway line, sort of defensive line, being aerially dominant to stop the opposition, playing over the top. Nico Schlotterbeck ticks all of these boxes. He's out of contract in 2023, which means a move for him now would probably be extremely cheap, unless you wanted to get him on a pre-deal come January. He will end up somewhere massive. This could be a Bayern Munich signing. That tells you everything you need to know. This is a guy that will be on the radar of every club in Europe within 2 years. Manchester United, do the right thing. Bring this kid in now and let's see him grow into a world-class monster. He's got the lot. And oh yeah, he ain't gone yet. He scores goals. He scored 3 from set pieces this year. 2 of his head, 1 of his left peg. Get him fucking signed. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.